Day 4, full day of practice out here. Last day in shells. We get to put on pads tomorrow and play the real game. I really think we made some progress as far as the way we practiced together from yesterday to today. The things that guys aren't laying all over the ground and diving to make plays and things like that. And I think that's really important with this football team right now, with all the inexperience that we have, that we really understand and teach them how we need to practice. It's just day 4. We're not going to win and lose just in what we do today, but we got to get better every day. And if we can learn to get that type of work against each other every day, then I think we're on the way. It's day 4. I think, some of the overload is starting to show up a little bit on some of these guys. Some of the younger guys or new guys especially. We're 4 days of installation, and all of a sudden they're forgetting what right and left is and their directions and some of the little things you put in the first day. But it's kind of a whole part, whole method. You kind of throw a lot at them early. They're going to get a little bit confused, and we'll go back and start reteaching again. But I like the work ethic. I like the attitude. I like the way they're coming out here and the way they're playing together. I just don't like that we're not ready to play a football game yet. We still have a ways to go, but we got to push hard as a staff. But these guys, they want to be good, and that's all I can ask right now.
You were spirited today. Is that frustration because you know they can be better, or is it you see some of the hitting the wall and not remembering things? What do you think it is?
Well, I think what we can't do is we can't allow mistakes to be accepted. We can't get into with the number of some of the simple mistakes that are made. You can't. Oh, that's right. Well, no, that's not all right. You know what? I don't want to hear my bad. I want to hear my good. Sorry. I want to hear. That we're doing things the right way, not that we're making mistakes. And so, I think right now, as you're getting in day 4 and they're getting a little bit of that overload mindset mentally, you got to raise the standard, and what the expectation is. You got to focus a little bit harder. You got to dig in a little bit deeper and really focus in on what you're doing on the field.
With the second half of the practice, I noticed a lot of balls on the ground. What specifically was this just miscommunication, or?
We had 2 fumble snaps with a true freshman, with a true freshman center.
You dropped shotgun snap.
Yeah, we had a couple bad. We had two bad shotgun snaps. We had 2 bad shotgun snaps, and then Jamar dropped one that was probably catchable. Those are the little things that when you're not consistent enough that show up that we got to eliminate.
Coach, you were talking all spring about, you kept referring to the 123 out of 126 or whatever it is with returning.
127, but
yes,
close.
Thank you. With returning production from last season. And I know that's even more noticeable in the defense, but bringing in 2 veteran linebackers, Santos and Harris.
Yes.
I'm sure that how have they done in terms of plugging in right away?
I tell you what, those 2 and Prince Sam, the 3 senior transfers, I couldn't be more pleased with the role that they have played as football players, but the role they're playing as leaders, the security that they're given. All of a sudden you're walking out a 5th-year senior that's played a lot of football, that's been there before, that this isn't his first game. We don't have a lot of experience of guys that have played here, but we got those 3 have played a lot of football. When you look at all the games that they've played, and to be able to add 3 guys like that, along with Xavier Woods, and then all of a sudden you had a Cooper, and we brought a Demarion King, an upperclassman in that boat. I don't think that we're feeling those effects near as bad as we would if they aren't here. I think those guys are doing a great job for us right now.
Especially with the linebacking core specifically, a lot of attrition in that area. Do you find, is it less of a worry now that you guys have gotten out here and seen some of those guys at work?
Since I've seen the transfers, yeah. Just like when we came out here with Jeff Driscoll and Cody Sokol the last 2 years, you really don't know what you have. But when you see those guys come out here, the way they fit into the team, their work ethic, the comfort level they have, the way they're making calls, they're playing with confidence, and they've been here 4 days. We got some guys that have been here for 2 years and don't play with confidence yet. They're not there, but these guys aren't 2nd year in college. They're 5th year in college, and so it's definitely making a difference, and the things that they're doing on the field right now make me feel a lot better about our defense.
Blake said a couple of days ago that with Dalton, since it's a similar defense as Texas, he kind of picked it right back up in terminology. Did you notice that after the first couple of days that it was like, oh, I remember this defense?
It's relearning. He's not starting from scratch. Like, okay, explain it to me. It's like, oh, yeah. It's coming back. It's coming back. And like I said, he's out there. He's even – and it's the confidence that you play with. I look out there at some of the – freshman linebackers whose eyes are as big as their whole helmet. They're just sitting in there, and they are lined up 4 yards deep right in their gap. They're by the book. And then you look out there and Dalton's been in it 4 days and he's on the line of scrimmage going, hey Higgins, I'm coming, and then sinking back. He's out there playing and he's, he's having some fun and he's playing the game and he brings some energy to it all. And that type of confidence is what he's bringing. But I think a big part for him over Brandon is he's been in this defense and he understands it quite well.
Saw Connor was in a boot. He had a same injury last year a little bit. Well,
Yep.
same foot. Any concern that with that?
Not near as bad as a year ago was. Not near as bad, but he did. I mean, it was an on-air injury. Just put his foot in the ground, and hopefully that'll subdue rather quickly. It wasn't near as swollen as it was last time. It's not near as sore as it was last time, but everything we're doing is preventative. Just like you look at, Alex Woodall. Alex Woodall wears a boot from the time he leaves this building until the time he comes back tomorrow for practice. But he's full go at practice. We're just making sure that we do everything we can to protect that injury that he's coming off of. And it's the same thing with Connor right now. We're just trying to be proactive for the next couple of days. We'll get a much better idea in 2 or 3 days where he is.
And with his absence, a guy like Cam McKnight is able to get some more reps. And I know Todd was mentioning him in the spring about a guy who he wanted to get the ball more to. How do you see his role in this offense increasing as he's kind of growing as a player?
No, and as he continues to grow, definitely. It's nice to have a guy with that size of frame that you can get the ball to and move him around and do some different things with them. And right now we're not trying to get the ball to individual players right now as much as we're trying to put in what we're going to do. I ran a couple plays today that I didn't think would be good against what they're doing defensively, but we got to get them on film, coach them, and see them. And so I think he's got a chance if he keeps coming and developing and doing the things he's doing. He's got a chance to play a major role, and I think all the playing time he got last year and the experience he got last year will go a long way in helping him this year.
Coach, how do you feel the running back room is coming along?
They're doing good. They're doing good. I think Jaquise is loaded with talent, but he's just as young. We got to get him to understand running north and south. And, when the running back's value is going to come in is when they have to start tackling them. How many tackles can they break? How productive can they be? Right now they know where to go and they know what to do, and they're catching the ball really well. And having Boston and Jared Kraft who played, and now a guy like Jaquise who's going into his 3rd year, I think they know what to do and they know where to go. And they're making some good cuts and they're missing some, but I think their true value is going to come in when we start seeing them Saturday in a little bit more of a scrimmage atmosphere and just the role that they're going to play for us.
This is more of a little philosophical question. How do you choose who redshirts and who doesn't redshirt?
We'll make that decision here in the next couple days. When we get through Saturday, we'll get a really good idea of probably the 8 guys that feel like we can pick it up, can help the team, are ready physically, mentally, and we'll take those guys and we'll work with them for 1 more week, and at the end of that week we'll make that decision. 2 weeks out of the first game is when we'll make the decision who we're going to try and redshirt and who we're going to try and play. So they got about 14 days to kind of learn what they're doing. You find out the guys that are a long way away after this week. You let their reps start getting cut and they don't get as many reps, and you start getting more reps to the guys that have a chance to help you, and then you'll make that decision after the big scrimmage on Saturday the 20th.
A lot of offenses running backs have some defined roles. How interchangeable are your guys? I know in different offenses, like I said, one might do this or that, but
Yep.
how are y'all, you think your 3 you have?
I think they all 3 have different skill sets, but we want them all 3 to be very multiple. They're all 3 catching the ball very well. Knock on wood, I don't believe we have a drop at running back yet. I don't believe we didn't going into the day. We didn't have a drop at running back. They're all 3 catching the ball well. They're doing a pretty good job picking it all up. But obviously Jaquise is a little smaller and quicker, and probably a guy that you'd like to get on the outside a little bit more in an open space. And if you look at guys like Jared Kraft and Boston Scott, I think are probably better in the box runners. They're physical, they're durable, they're going to grind it out, and they're going to find positive yards for you.
So you don't think you'll go into the season like with a defined role, like, all right, he's going to be our 3rd down, he's going to be our goal line?
No, they'll all be interchangeable. There may be some plays that you highlight more with one guy in the game than the other, but it won't be restricted roles.